All right, what's going on, guys? Today I wanted to do a kind of discussion and thoughts on just what I think about AC Syndicate that's coming out later this fall. Um, I'm a huge fan. Like I can't say it enough. I love Assassin's Creed. I own literally every game of the franchise. Um, I've got Connor poster back there. On this side of my wall, I have a an Ezio, Connor, and Arno poster. I I fucking love the games. Um, so, but this I would say that probably this is the first time that I'm not like so stoked about the new game. I'm like cautiously optimistic, and of course, it has everything to do with the absolute mess that Unity was. Um, I think it's an understatement to tell you how fucking excited I was when Unity debuted at E3. Um, the moment that he did the downward parkour, he did that fucking like jump. He jumped down the Notre Dame Cathedral like Spider Man. I was like, fuck yeah, man! Like that's what I fucking wanted to see. Um, but I mean, partly the reason for this video is I've actually been recently playing Unity. Actually kind of enjoying it because it's actually fucking playable right now. But one of the things that still bothers me today about it is the story. And I mean it's just a fucking mess of just too many things going on, things that were never really quite answered, and kind of a mix of things that just I felt like just didn't really belong there. Um, and of course the ending, I think ticks me off the most. Um, with Elise's death, I just feel like it was just tacked on there. Like they just needed her to die. I don't know. It was just like a check mark or a tally on a big board or something like that. I felt like she just didn't need to die. It was shoehorned in. It just happened. Um, I really liked her for what it's worth, but I just didn't feel like I didn't feel anything when she died. And probably that was a scene that should probably garner some emotion. And even Arno didn't. He didn't even fucking. You didn't even see that much emotion from him. Like I expected him to like break down to his knees, like crying or something like that. But he rather looked he looked kind of emotionless from it. I don't know. I was just expecting a little bit more. Um, that just kind of ticked me off because I felt like it just wasn't needed. I felt like they didn't really handle her um, the best way, in the best way. Um, yeah. So I mean, that's that. And for me personally, the stories in AC games are super important for me. The reason why I hold AC2 Revelations and 4 in such high regards for the series is because of the stories that they're able to tell with those games and those characters. Um, which is why I really hope that Syndicate's story is going to be really good. I hope, really hope. Um, Also with the story, the modern day was just still fucking pisses me off. Just how there was nothing. Like let's face it, there was nothing in the fucking modern day, and nothing new really happened. I mean, we got introduced to Helix Project, but I mean, I don't give a fuck about that. I really don't. What made the past games so special was that intrigue and mystery, and you not really knowing, what the hell is going on with the first civilization. And I know a lot of people. don't like the sci-fi elements of the AC franchise, but I personally find it really fucking intriguing. Um, which is why I'm really optimistic when they say they're bringing the modern day back. Um, I'm hoping they mean a third day. Can't fucking talk. Third person protagonist. Back to the franchise. To kind of have that the present day and the story in the past happening at the same time. Um, and I don't want to see Desmond get revived. Um, I think it would be pretty cool if he was stuck in the Animus like Clay. Um, but I want a new uh, modern day protagonist being Galina Veronina. If you guys haven't heard of her, you should look her up. She's from the AC Initiates. She's with the Russian Assassin Brotherhood. Um, I'm pretty sure. Um, I just find it really intriguing because she basically had to put down her own mother and sister um, because prolonged exposure to the animus. They were in there for way too fucking long, and basically the same thing that happened to Clay. They lost their minds, and she basically had to put them both down herself. Um, and then now I'm pretty sure currently in present day she's on board the Altair One with Gavin and like um, the rest of the what's left of the Brotherhood right now. I think they're heading to Norway or something like that, or that they're in Norway. That they've met up with William Miles. Anyway, I just really hope she's the protagonist that we get to control in Syndicate. Um, if not her, I just want to at least like be able to see her, you know, something like that. Of course, this is just be me. This is just me being optimistic, getting my hopes up. For all I know, they probably will not even have a third person protagonist, and they're just gonna do the same shit they've done in the last two games. Um, I would be disappointed as fuck if they did that. But then again, I'm used to some disappointments in this franchise, so it's whatever. Um, yeah. So story, modern day. Um, I don't have a problem with the city of Paris. It was fucking beautiful. The NPCs, you actually felt like they had lives. They felt alive. They if you actually take a moment and just like stand there and look at what the NPCs are doing, like you feel like they're actual people. They're just out there living their lives, doing jobs and shit, fixing things, walking around like normal people would do. Um, I thought the NPCs were some of the best NPCs I've ever seen in the game, personally. Um, I just wish that some of that was the attention to detail like that from that would have carried over into like some of the story elements, I guess. Um, yeah, so that's fucking that. Again, no problem with the world building. Another thing that really fucking irks me is the side missions. Um, Especially coming back from playing a game like The Witcher 3, and I know AC in terms of that is no Witcher 3, but it just really got me thinking like fuck man, the side missions are really just rinse and repeat the same shit over and over and over again in Unity at least because in the previous games um you had to destroy Leonardo's war machines. You had some races, the tomb exploration, the glyphs. Like side missions were very diverse, and there was a mix and a very good blend of all these different things that you could do. In Unity, for their side missions, it's just like they give you like these a whole lot of exposition for okay, this is what the side mission is about. This is what they want you to do. But ultimately, it just comes up to, uh, or comes down to, you just stealing a document or in a big area and you have to assassinate four Templars in this area. The Paris stories, at least, because I thought the murder mysteries were actually pretty nice. I'm glad they're coming back in Syndicate. I hope they just expand on them because I felt like, although a cool idea, it wasn't very different from time to time. If that makes any sense. Yeah, so I really hope they expand on the dreadful crimes in Syndicate, make them deeper and more thought out. If that makes sense. Um, yeah, so that's that. I really hope um, the side missions are more diverse and it's not just you. Um, like the Paris story, it's just killing Templars in different rooms or different outside areas, or stealing parts from a guillotine, or stealing documents, or things like that, or uh, planting something. I don't know. It was really just the same. And it looks like it will be different in Syndicate. Um, Train heists, which I hope are more thought out than the co-op heists from Unity. I saw there was like some races, the gang strongholds, which give or take, I mean, and we've seen it basically in every AC game, from Borgia Towers, the like British forts from AC3, the Templar dens from Revelations, the big naval forts from 4. We've seen them basically in every game, but it's whatever. Carriage races, like I said, some other things to uh, get some uh, kids, liberate them from their factories or whatever. So it looks like there's going to be um, some diversity, um, which I'm happy for, at least. And then last thing, I know I said this is going to be kind of a syndicate discussion, but this has really just turned into the shit on Unity video. But last thing is Arno. I felt like Arno. I, apparently, a lot of people liked him. I didn't really care for him that much because, for me at least, he just felt like an assassin that we've already seen before. He didn't bring anything new to the table. Um, he very much felt like Ezio. Um, at least with Connor, at least he felt different. I know people hate him, but he was very serious about what he did. Cold blooded killer, uh, kind of no nonsense kind of guy. Um, at least that was different from Ezio. At least Ezio was different from Altair. Um, those three were different from one another. Um, Edward also, which why I hold literally Edward to one of the highest standards. I just love how Edward's a very different character from where you start in the game to the end of the game. Um, he realizes that the way that he's living life um, is fucked, to put it simply. He's gonna wind up losing everyone around him if he continues to live the way that he's living. And ironically, he does basically lose everyone around him. And when he realizes that, he's like, "Fuck, man, I gotta change the way I'm living. Like, this isn't right." So I really like Edward's whole story arc. Like, although I'm pretty sure it was just like a 5 year span that Black Flag took place in, you really felt like um, you lived a pretty big chunk of his life, which I really liked. And Arno, man, I don't really know. He just didn't feel new, or he didn't bring anything new to this big cast of characters that we all know and love. So when people are saying, "Oh, Jacob looks like every other assassin," I'm kind of reserving my opinion on that because obviously we haven't really seen much of him, and the game hasn't even come out yet. So you know, I'm really interested to see what his motivations are, his goal, his end goal. yeah, just what kind of character he's gonna be, because obviously we haven't seen him, so it's kind of unfair to judge him from a couple of trailers we've seen him. It's kind of unfair to judge his entire character when the game hasn't come out yet. And then Evie, I mean, I really like her, just because she kind of seems more of like an Altair kind of character. She's very serious about the creed. She follows it to the letter, and I like that. I like that we're getting a character um that into the creed and about the roots and the order, and wants and is like involved with the mysteries, and she cares about the artifacts. She wants to find them and things like that. I think that's very cool, because I don't think we've had someone who's been like super serious and dedicated to the creed since Altair. I don't think anyone has been. So, and I think Evie will definitely be um, that kind of character. Um, yeah. So, Syndicate. Gameplay wise, let's see. Um, One of the things I wanted to note about Unity actually was the combat, and how I think it's going to be in Syndicate. Unity's combat, it was really 50-50 for me, because it was it was really slow, very slow actually, but it's challenging as fuck, man. It was really hard. Um, and at least in Syndicate, it looks like it's going to be a lot faster, which I'm glad with. And what are we on, the eighth or ninth game now? And I would say probably the last 7 games have been sword fighting. So I'm glad it's going to be really fist fighting in this game for sure. Um, it, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, it's a little refreshing for me at least. Um, and the thing about Unity, which I thought was really different for the series, I mean, it might depend. Obviously, everyone plays differently, but I never, in previous AC games, I never needed to use smoke bombs. Never. Um, I only used the poison darts, the sleeping darts, the berserk darts for fun. Really, there was never really the rope darts too. There was never really any missions um, that like was so hard that I needed to use these things. Unity's, whenever I was in a fight, like I had to use smoke bombs. I had to use berserk darts, the phantom blade. I needed to use everything in my arsenal, just to survive each battle, which I thought was pretty interesting that they made it that challenging. So I hope that Syndicate's combat is challenging, but still fun, but also kind of makes you think a little bit, and makes you kind of take advantage of everything you have in your arsenal. Um, yeah, and so also I'm really digging something that Unity actually did really good with. It's kind of the open-ended assassinations. Like, I know I already talked shit about kind of the side missions, but in those assassination missions, what made most of them fun was the fact that it was kind of strategic. Like, if you had to take out a target in like a 3-story building, you're like, okay, so should I enter from the bottom, or should I go in from the top? Um, there was many different ways of handling that particular assassination. So I'm glad that they're bringing it back in the Syndicate. Um, to give you to really kind of carve your own like unique path um, to each assassination, um, which I think is pretty cool. And the black box missions, It's basically what it is. I like that you're able to have basically multiple opportunities or multiple ways. It's not just one set way, like one set path. Like it actually feels like it branches off. It's many different things you can do to eventually get your target, which I like a lot. Um, the rope launcher. Um, I know a lot of people don't like it. People are like, "Oh, it takes away the parkour," but for I mean, you still can parkour. You can still climb up buildings like every other AC game. Um, the thing, just think about this. These are the tallest buildings in the franchise yet, and the widest streets ever um, in an AC game. So, do you really want to go from like the top of a tall, fucking uh, building from London? You have to climb down and just across the street to get like to a building across the street, climb down, run across the street, and then climb that building. Like the rope launcher, I mean, it's perfect for that. Obviously, it's gonna make that so much easier. Um, so I find it really fucking useful for that purpose, and just for occasionally scaling um, those really tall those really tall buildings. Um, I mean, again, take that with a grain of salt. I know it's not for everyone, but I know I'm gonna have fun with it for sure. It's definitely it definitely feels like something a little fresh for a series that definitely needs something fresh. Um, yeah. Um, I think that's basically it. Um, yeah. I mean, I I really don't know what to say. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic about Syndicate. Um, I'm there's definitely some things that excite me more than others, and then again, there's some things that don't really have me um, too stoked. Like I'm not too sure what they're gonna do with the modern day. I really hope they bring back a protagonist. I wasn't really too keen on the time period at first when they first revealed it, but I'm kind of warming to it. It's still not my like preferred location for the game. Um, but I'm warming up to it. If they do it right, I I think, especially with Austin Wintory doing the score, if you've heard the main theme Bloodlines for Syndicate, it sounds like really dark, which I love, and that's what I was hoping. I wanted an AC game to be kind of have a dark, sad tone to it, and just from that theme alone, it kind of gives me that vibe that it's going to be a little bit of a darker game. And I think um, if you want a darker game, I think Victorian London is a pretty good place to have that. Um, constantly raining, and we've seen a couple missions now that is taking place at night. That's really what I wanted to see, and also I'm super fucking stoked for the soundtrack. I mean, this is the guy who did the soundtrack for Journey, so I mean, come on now. Um, yeah, I mean, once again, I'm cautiously optimistic. Obviously, I don't want Ubisoft to fucking fail, or else that's the last nail in the fucking AC coffin. But I really hope they get this right because they fucked up with Unity, and they know they fucked up big time. So hopefully they learned their lesson. If they didn't, then I don't know. I don't know. Um, and I think this is really a huge fucking game for them because obviously, like I just said, they know that if they get this wrong, if they fuck up with Syndicate, that it's it for them. It's probably it for the whole AC franchise. Um, I mean, look at how much with just one game that they messed up. Look at how many people constantly hating on AC, and putting it down and saying it's equivalent to Call of Duty now. Um, yeah, they just need to get this right. And even for the hardcore fans like me, like I never thought I would be like so wishy washy or iffy to buy an AC game. If after Brotherhood or after Revelations, you would have told me in a couple of years, um, I wouldn't want to buy an AC game down the line, I'd be like, you're fucking crazy. Like, I would buy every single fucking game. But that's literally how like I think most hardcore fans are like thinking right now. Like they kind of they're not pre-ordering, that's for sure, but they definitely are like holding their money back until reviews and obviously just seeing how the game runs. So I don't know. I mean, I think they shot themselves in the foot to begin with, making the series a little longer than it should have been, but whatever. Um, yeah, that's it for me. I know this video was pretty fucking long, but I had a lot to say. A lot of things I wanted to kind of get off my chest. Yeah, so once again, I'm kind of reserving hope. I'm waiting to see more, and that's basically it. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Comment what you guys think about Syndicate. What's your thoughts? Are you guys excited? Are you stoked? Do you hate it? Are you saying fuck this game? I'm not buying it. Um, whatever. Just tell me what you guys think. All right, peace.